It's election season, which means the Wolfcast and the Wolfpack have another installment of Behind the Ballot. We have talked to all of our candidates for our 2024 Leander ISD School Board and asked them each the same 17 questions.
Those full interviews will be available to watch on our YouTube and on the Wolfpack online. But we wanted to highlight each candidate running for each place right here on the Wolfcast.
Let's meet our candidates for place 3, Nkosi Nelson and Jim Sneeringer. We started off with asking each candidate why they were running for school board and what they thought made them qualified. Nkosi Nelson said that there are 3 things motivating him in this election.
Yeah, why I'm running for school board, really motivated by 3 things. My commitment to servant leadership. Second is like a belief in the transformative power of education. And the third is this window of opportunity I think we have for Leander ISD to be a model district in Texas. And so in terms of servant leadership, I have about 23 years of program management experience in industries across tech, finance, and education, 12 of those being in education. I currently volunteer at my daughter's school. I'm in Watchdog program. I volunteer at the high school with Parents on Patrol, and I'm also part of the site-based committee. And so, you know, service has just always been a part of my life, and so this is just an extension of serving.
Jim Sneeringer told us that he's qualified for our Leander ISD School Board because he has a lot of experience in education. He's also a former LISD School Board member, serving a total of 18 years.
Last time was about 10 years ago, but I decided that I shouldn't serve too long in one stretch, that it might shut out other people who would want to run because of the advantage of incumbency. Also, I have a lot of business experience. I've, in my time, worked for IBM. I've also have a lot of experience in education. I've taught at the college level, at the University of North Carolina, and at the University of Texas, and at St. Edward's in different times.
We also asked each candidate what they think is attributed to the $13 million deficit that Leander ISD announced that they were facing over the summer, and how they think it should be addressed. Nelson told us that the district is getting mandates from the state, but they're not being funded to fulfill those mandates.
Yeah, so, you know, one, we know that, you know, there's certain components. We know for sure, if I take a big component, there's certain mandates around special education. I just actually had a conversation with the CFO last week, and those are underfunded. And so what's happening at the state level is we're getting mandates, so you must do this, you're required, but they're not funded.
Sneeringer told us that he thinks the deficit was caused by the current board and the administration doing it purposefully or poorly estimating.
So it's not something to panic about, but obviously it needs to be addressed. And I don't have the information right now to say what the best way to address it is. Approximately 85% of a district's expenses are salaries. That's an expense that's very difficult to control. I mean, if you don't pay people adequately, you're not going to get good teachers. And if you don't get good teachers, you're not going to get good results.
Again, these full interviews will be available to watch on our YouTube and on the Wolfpack online, but this wraps up our highlights from Place 3. We'll continue to introduce the rest of our 2024 candidates to you throughout this month, and don't forget Election Day is coming up on November 5th, so make sure to get out and cast your vote.